Welcome to Fantasy Football Buzz, giving you the sweet edge in your fantasy league. Today we're talking about Evan Ingram, the Jacksonville tight end, which you should be paying more attention to. Today we'll talk about his stats from last year, where I think he's going to be this upcoming year, and kind of his recent performance, which has definitely been awesome. So if you've drafted him or you're thinking about drafting him, congratulations. This is the video to watch. We'll talk about how he compares versus others, how he's doing on the team, a bunch of other stuff which I really am excited about for this season. So let's kick it off by talking about where he ended last year at. He was number 2 in fantasy stats for tight ends. He had 173.3 fantasy points in half PPR leagues, right behind Sam Laporta. Everyone talked about how Sam Laporta had an awesome season. I think Sam Laporta was highly reliant on getting all those touchdowns, which he did, and it's awesome to get those red zone. But Evan Ingram was just targeted so much, and when we dig into the data, we'll see how huge a part he is for the Jacksonville offense, and I think that's just going to continue or even increase going towards into this year. So, like I said, we see Sam Laporta, and we'll take a look at where people are drafting him compared to where people are drafting Evan Ingram, and there's a huge discrepancy there. So Evan Ingram was number 1 in targets with 143 among tight ends, and so that's awesome. He was a huge part of their offense with 23.1% target share. So not only was he getting a huge amount of targets in general compared to everyone else, just the amount he was getting compared to his team was 23.1%, almost 1/4 of all the targets went to him. That's awesome. So again, like with Sam Laporta, we're just reliant on all those touchdowns. Evan Ingram was getting that consistency of yards per game, and I think that really is great. That's the type of stuff you want to see because the touchdowns could always come, and we'll take a look later on about the opportunities he could have had in the red zone, which could definitely improve this year, and we got a taste of it during the preseason. So another thing that I thought was interesting is, like I said, we talk about all the great stuff. He's number 2 in overall fantasy points for tight ends, number 1 in targets, number 1 in target share. But if you look at his ADP, he's at 76.3, making him the tight end 8. So I think for the value that if you're able to get him for around that time, I think that you definitely would be happy. So if you look at all the people getting drafted before him, I won't get too mad about some of these ones like Kelsey and Laporta and McBride. I think they're going to have great seasons. Obviously Mark Andrews, etc. But there's a couple people like Kyle Pitts and George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid. I think I would definitely look closer into Evan Ingram. Again, I don't know why people are expecting him to do like not as good as he did last year. We just literally looked at the stats. We literally saw, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have an even better season this year than he did last year. I think Evan Ingram will have the same amount of focus that he'll have. Again, that target share is huge. If you take a look at that, just at looking at the Jacksonville wide receivers, and he got a target share of 23.1%, which we saw. Calvin Ridley got 21.9. Christian Kirk got 21.4. So again, just going to continually be a huge part of that offense. They highly rely on tight ends for production. And then again, like I mentioned, if you take a look at the data and see how it was week to week in terms of red zone opportunities and overall opportunities, but I think red zone specifically, he definitely had some missed ones in there. But again, if he even made half of those that he missed, I think he would have had even better season. And again, comparing him to Sam Laporta, who was highly reliant on those touchdowns to get up there, I thought if he would have made some improvements there, which I think he'll make this year, I think that'll definitely kind of showcase his true potential. So last year he had 114 catches for 963 yards and 4 touchdowns, single season franchise record, and earned his second trip to the Pro Bowl. So definitely getting a lot of hype. I think it was kind of just overshadowed with the year that Sam Laporta did, and people just kind of, silently, again, he didn't have the flashy touchdowns, etc. So I think, again, a lot of the focus was on Laporta. Obviously, Sam Laporta, a rookie. But I do think that, again, he's positioned well to do, to repeat and do better. I think a lot of things that they've been saying is that he wants to be more of a deep threat. He wants to be able to kind of expand on his role, which is kind of crazy. So that's definitely good news. I really think that he is going to shatter expectations this year. I see a lot of people thinking he's going to get the same amount of touchdowns, around the 4 to 5 range. I think he's going to do a lot better than that. And again, you guys saw a taste of it. It was a preseason game, but he had 2 touchdowns. Of course, he was obviously preseason. It was against the Falcons, but I just think that his dominance compared to all his defenders really showcased him, kind of, like I said, his potential, how people are focusing on him. I think he's just going to be huge for them. Like I said, not only just in general, but especially in the red zone. I think they're going to utilize him more. Trevor Lawrence just loves passing to him. It makes it easy. I think more and more people are going to see disparity between him and the defenders and really take advantage of that. So those 2 touchdowns was obviously great to see. Maybe we won't see that in a single game, but again, it kind of just shows the potential, kind of reminds you guys like, hey, he's here. He knows, how to play football good. I think they're definitely excited about the potential that he has. And like I said, for him being drafted at where he's being, I definitely think that should, the tight end 8, I don't think so. I think for me, tight end 3, tight end 4, I'm pretty happy if I get him in the, in the range that he's going. But I do think that people are kind of undervaluing him, and I think he's going to have an awesome year. And I'm pretty happy if I get him. So let me know what other tight ends you think will have an awesome year. Sam Laporta, I'm kind of fading from Kelsey. Evan Ingram is definitely the future, and I really hope that you guys take advantage of that. And hopefully you guys agree with me that he's going to have an awesome year. So let me know what you guys think. I'll have some more future videos talking about some other tight ends. We'll talk about some other upcoming drafts. We'll do some mocks together. But good luck this season, and let me know how I could help.